Alright, listen up and listen good. Nah, I'm only joking. This video, I don't have the DJI Action 6, so if you're expecting to see video footage and things like that, then this isn't the video for you. This is my, basically, what I've summarized after watching quite a few reviews and things like that. Now, you just have to be really careful because a lot of the reviews that first come out about DJI products, and a lot of products in general, different brands. I'm in the car, by the way, because I'm picking my son up from kindergarten. But anyway, yeah, a lot of these reviews that first come out, I don't know if they're always paid reviews, but they're usually sponsored reviews, meaning that DJI have sent them the product. They don't want to say anything bad about it because then they might not send them anything ever again. And I'm not in that situation. DJI have never sent me anything for free. Even if they did, I'd remain 100% honest. A product to me isn't worth my integrity in future reviews and things like that. So a lot of the videos you will see coming out about the Action 6 is that it's an amazing camera, but I've watched a whole bunch of these reviews, looked at a whole lot of footage from that camera, and I've got to tell ya, I reckon it's kind of junk. It's good, like there's nothing wrong with it, but I don't think it's that much of an advancement over the Action 5. The footage, it's weird because in some situations it looks worse than the Action 5, in some situations it looks the same as the Action 5, and in other situations it looks a little bit better than the Action 5. There was one clip I saw, I think it might have been, I can't remember whose video it was, maybe Potato Jet, I can't remember who it was, but the Action 5, they had the camera split screen, the 5 on one side, 6 on the other, and the 5 just looked a lot sharper. And just things like they're saying it's better in low light, it definitely does look a bit better in low light, but it looks like it's just lifted the exposure or lifted the shadows a little bit. I don't know if it's that much of a cleaner image or cleaner video, to be totally honest. The only upside I see to the Action 6, and by the way, I'm saying all of this, I probably will end up buying one at some point, mainly to do a review, and mainly because I do like having the latest thing when it comes to cameras. Even if I don't think it's that good, eventually I probably will buy one, because I'm always curious to see how far I can push it. But the only real advantage, and this is one of the reasons I'd buy it, is that it films in a square format. It's able to film in a square format. Now, you can't do that in every single mode, certain frame rates and things like that, but for the most part, it films in a square format, which means you can crop it to be a landscape, just like this video here, 16:9, or you can crop it the other way, 9:16 for shorts, Instagram reels, all that type of thing. So it's very, very handy to not have to think about the framing when it comes to that type of thing, even though usually when I film footage on my normal cameras that shoot in 16:9, like this one, this is the Pocket 3 I'm currently shooting on, I just crop it 9:16 and I seem to be able to make it work. As long as your face isn't right up in the camera and you're losing, you're trying to crop in, you're losing a lot of data. As long as you're far enough back, you stay somewhat in the middle of the frame, usually it's not a problem. So that's not really, I don't know, there's just nothing really amazing about the Action 6. I mean, the thing is that drives me nuts is that I saw the few of the leaks before it came out and it said f2 aperture and you'd be able to choose the aperture, and I was like, that's awesome. Hopefully you can get some shallow depth of field, which means a blurrier background, like the Pocket 3 does. If you can tell, if I go this way, you'll be able to see the background is a lot blurrier than my face is, and that's awesome. That's because this has a larger sensor, but also because it probably shoots with a more wide open aperture. So the initial leaks I saw was that perhaps the Action 6 would have a 1-inch sensor like the Pocket 3, and I was really hoping that with that f2 aperture, you'd be able to actually have a bit more of a blurry background. Now, I know that's not something that people using an action camera really want, but I know a lot of people use the action cameras for shooting vlogs and videos like that, like I do. So yeah, it's just a little bit more visually pleasing when you do have a slightly blurry background that you could turn off and on would be nice. But yeah, apparently the f2 aperture only works when you're shooting in night mode, and other than that, I think you can only shoot from f2.8 to, I don't know what the other, I can't even remember, but yeah, it doesn't really make a difference. It's only really slightly better in low light because of that, but it's still got a smaller sensor than the Pocket 3. So yeah, what I was hoping to see, like I said, was a 1-inch sensor with a bit more of a blurry depth of field, a shallower depth of field to give you that blurry background. Something where you could actually like turn it off and on, like some of the Sony cameras, they have that product showcase, you press a button and it blurs the background without you having to do anything. I was really hoping that it would have a feature like that, but it doesn't seem to. I've watched a bunch of videos, the background looks just as sharp as the other cameras, so yeah, it doesn't look too much different, to be honest. So yeah, just be wary of the hype. If you're in the market for an action camera, then and you have the budget, then go for the 6, because it probably is still the better one out of the 4, 5 and 6, although some people believe, and somewhat I do a little bit as well, the color's a bit better on the Action 4. The Action 5 and 6, they're pushing that HDR a little bit too much sometimes, where skies just look like nuclear blue and things like that. But they did do a firmware update for the Action 5 that fixed a little bit of that. It was really bad when it first came out. I got that pretty early on, and I wasn't a fan of the colors, but the firmware update did make that, muted that a little bit more, so I was quite happy with it. But yeah, if you have the budget for it, go the Action 6. It will be the better camera at the end of the day. But if you're skimpy on budget, or you've already got the Action 5, in my personal opinion, unless you just have the money and want the latest thing, then don't buy it, just keep the 5. And if you have an Action 4 and you're looking to upgrade, and again, if you have the budget, go the 6. If you want to save a bit of money, just go for the 5, because it's an awesome camera. Like I said, side by side, by the time they're compressed and on YouTube and all that type of thing, I really don't think you're going to see any difference. And like I said, even in some scenarios, the Action 5 looked better than the 6. Just different scenarios, things looked different. And I saw one review, I can't remember again who it was, but they had a video side by side shooting at nighttime with the Action 5 versus the Action 6, and they're going on and on about how much brighter the Action 6 was. Mind you, it was brighter, but it was a lot noisier, so there is a bit of a trade-off there. It should be better in low light because of the f2 aperture that it has, and slightly larger. Well, when I say larger sensor, you have to be careful of that too. Technically, from what I know, it's not actually much. It's not really a larger sensor when it comes to shooting landscape 16:9. It's a larger sensor because it's a square, but I don't think it gives you that much more of an advantage when it comes to low light. The only advantage you get with a low light for the Action 6 is the fact that it's f2. But yeah, again, I think that only works in super night mode, which again, I usually don't like using because sometimes it makes things just look really soft and waxy and just out of focus. So yeah, that's about it. That's my little rant. Again, I probably will buy one at some point just because I do like to have the latest things. I want to play around with it myself. Maybe it will get much better after a few firmware updates. Who knows? But for now, I'm very, very happy with the 5, and I've also got the Pocket 3, which I'm very happy with. It's a little more arduous to use than the Action camera, but the Pocket 3 gives a really nice video quality, nice shallow depth of field. And yeah, so that's about it. Hope you enjoyed this one. Leave your thoughts and comments below. I'm very interested to hear them. And yeah, again, just be careful of these reviews. I can't even talk today. Just be careful of these reviews that are coming out early on, because a lot of them are, I'm not going to say paid, but they're kind of sponsored by DJI, meaning that they've probably sent them the product. They're not going to talk bad about it because they don't want DJI to not ever send them anything again, type of thing. Whereas I couldn't care less if DJI sent me the camera and it was absolute piece of shit, I would tell you. So yeah, I think transparency and that kind of thing is really important when it's my personality on the line. So yeah, hope you enjoy this one, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you very, very much for watching. What are you doing, mate? I don't know if this person's parking, leaving, or going. They don't even know themselves. Alright, catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching.